you? Oh, this light is just terrible, isn't it? All right. Well, that's as good as I think we're going to get it. How is everyone today? Let me see. Do I want it shining on me or... All right. Nah, I guess that's okay. We'll deal with that. How is everyone today? My name is Shannon Gilmore, and it is nice to see all of you guys here. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, please listen because this could save your life. This is the title of this video, as things are getting serious. Like, with this great awakening, you realize that people have lost their ever-loving minds. Hello, everyone. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Robert. It's nice to see you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Come on in. And hello, Resistor. Nice to see you. Welcome. So, hi, Diane. How are you? Nice to see everyone here. Welcome. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. I am a peer support mentor, and things are getting, like, we want to say, batshit crazy out there, as if they weren't before. They still are, but it's getting worse out there. And with how do I even say this? Okay, when we were going through the trauma, when we were going through the conflict in ourselves, the cognitive dissonance, and we were still involved with the narcissist, and we're asking ourselves, should I leave? Shouldn't I leave? Should I? Could I? Would I? Do I? And we're trying to give ourselves all these different reasons to stay or leave. And then when we finally do get out, whether it was we were discarded or we left, we are conflicted because we're wanting to take the narcissist back. And then we're like, do I? Don't I? Should I? Would I? Could I? And now that we're out, we can see why we need to stay out. But do we realize that there are people inside relationships that are more toxic than what we went through? And that's not comparing. No, I'm not comparing. This is a realization. Have you realized since COVID, since this great awakening, people who we thought crazy 10 years ago, who were toxic 10 years ago, 5 years ago, are worse? Like, something in their minds has clicked where the rotten have become more rotten. Have you guys noticed that? We call these people Karens and Darrens, how they're just the switch was flipped and there's no going back. That's what I'm talking about today. This message is for you, and it's also for those people who are stuck in relationships where the potential to be kind and nice is now gone, like it's over. But yet, you're still brainwashed or want to believe the best in people, that maybe there's hope, maybe they can change, maybe if I just love them enough. Can you just imagine the hell these people are going through? We went through hell, and now with this supernatural shift that has taken place, the evil is not being oppressed. The evil is out in the open for everyone to see, and it's not pretty. So that's what I want to talk about tonight or today. I want to strip this to the bone and speak heart to heart. No sugarcoating. Hi, Scarlett. Nice to see you. How you doing? Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6. Thank you. So this video is, well, it's no therapy talk. This is just raw human truth, because this isn't about understanding abuse. It's about escaping it before it buries you alive. Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, please listen, because this could save your life. Truth number one: the abuser doesn't love you. Now, this, and I'm going to be talking from the perspective of woman to woman who is dealing with an abusive male. But please, you gentlemen who are watching this is for you as well. Because there are female abusive, narcissists, evil people out there, and I've witnessed them. And they're evil and rotten to the core, just as the evil men are. So this is for all of you, like all of you, men and women. But I just have a female slant on this today. So, number one, the abuser doesn't love you. They love what you give them when you do not love yourself. See, they feed off your doubt like it's oxygen. Every time you second guess your worth, they inhale that power. It's like they smell it. You know how dogs can smell fear? Oh, the enemy can smell your vulnerability. Yeah, and they seem to get off on it. So every time you defend them, make excuses for them, or in your mind say, oh, maybe they'll change. Really? You think Karen or Darren can change? Somebody who's hepped up on goofballs, on the fentanyl kind or whatever drug of choice, and they're bringing it into your home, subjecting you and your kids to that kind of terror? You really think that your love and kindness is going to change them? Evil people are addicted to evil because they made their choice. No, they don't want a partner. They don't want you sitting around waiting for them to be the martyr in case they change. They want a mirror that reflects back how important they feel they are. They want to, well, it's not even that anymore. Now they just want a punching bag, literally, sorry, but that's the truth. They want an emotional or physical punching bag, someone that will give them license so that they can express and release their anger and release this tension, because they don't know how to do it any other way. And when you stop mirroring them and reflecting back how important they are, as when you start ignoring them because you're actually witnessing your own light and paying attention to yourself, well, then they punish you for that too. And you may call it love. Yeah, on your part it is love, because that's who you are. You're kind and loving and nurturing. But guess what? You can't love a scorpion enough for it to change. Does a scorpion need healing? A scorpion was created to sting. A snake was created to bite and release its toxin in you or its prey. So, yes, love is healing. But don't mistake a predator doesn't want to be a predator. They are who they are. You can't love and wish their predatory nature away. You just can't do it. Oh, and I'm speaking from experience here. I realized I was so freaking naive. God, I mean this. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was so toxic to the point where I really didn't see that my ego was weaponizing my faith against me. Oh, if I just love him enough. See, I'm in his life. He can abuse me, but this is a perfect opportunity. I'm in his life because I can lead him to Jesus. No. That kind of thinking is going to get you into trouble every single time. But I love him. No, you're giving yourself the excuse to love him so that that's how you give yourself permission to stay, because you don't know the way out. You don't know any other way. You don't know how to do life without somebody taking care of you. And you'd rather have somebody take care of you in the way of, well, if it comes with abuse, then at least you're not alone. See, negative attention is better than no attention. That's the way the ego works. This is what your ego is doing to you. This is what the ego looks like. The ego wasn't to keep you safe, as psychologists say. Oh, you turned to fear because this is what kept you alive and safe in the moment. Really? Well, what the frick about now? What about now? Your life is being threatened. Your emotional safety and your sovereignty, your spiritual sovereignty is being threatened. But yeah, those same feelings that you had when you were first traumatized, maybe when you were younger, what about now? Those are still the same feelings that you're giving into. Is it working? Because it never did keep you safe. That was a lie. So let's just stop pretending, okay? I love you. And I'm not saying anything to you that I'm not going to say to myself. And I had to, in order to break the spell, I had to get really honest with myself. That's what we do on this channel. We get honest. And yeah, honesty isn't pretty, but honesty is love. Loving yourself, to be honest with yourself, yeah, it gets ugly. But I'm telling you, honesty is the safest, truest form of love there ever is. Hello, Joel. How you doing? Hello, James. How are you? How is everyone today? So, this is truth talk here because I want to tell you that you're not losing love if you decide to leave the relationship. And don't allow yourself or other people to convince you to stay, because God hates divorce. You really think God wants you to stay in that relationship and be abused? You really think so? When Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins, he wants you to go through all of that and risk your emotional safety and your physical safety, your spiritual safety in him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's time to do what you need to do for you. Stop pretending. You're not losing love by leaving them. You're reclaiming your life. You're reclaiming love, the love for yourself, and honoring yourself, honoring your Father in heaven by honoring yourself. Now, truth number 2, the narcissist or the toxic person, they train you. They train you to think you can't live without them. They need you more than you need them. It's a con. It's a sales pitch. When you threaten to leave, they turn on the crocodile tears. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll do better. I don't know what's gotten into me. Please, you're the only one. Well, what the frick? You know, when you did that to them and you were genuine in your tears, they didn't give a flying F. They didn't give a flying piece of fudge what you said or did. They were shouting at you, telling you to shut up, quit whining, quit being a baby. You're so immature, and that's why nobody will love you but them. You're so fortunate to have this abuse in your life because nobody else will take you, and you're not worth the. It is really sad what we are allowing ourselves to go through. But it's brainwashing. You can't see it when you're in it, but when you're outside of it, looking on the outside, looking in to see what has happened to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. You wouldn't allow anybody to do this to your pet, let alone your family member, let alone your best friend, let alone a stranger, and here you are. They make you believe that you are broken, so you'll buy their version of love at any cost. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You've been groomed and conditioned to live the opposite of love and truth. And that's why it hurts so much, because you can't see what you can't see. So they wear you down. They gaslight your memory. They twist your compassion until you're apologizing for things that they did. And guys, I really do apologize. This video is coming across as being very harsh and upfront and in your face, and I don't mean anybody harm. So if this is harming you, please just meet us back here tonight at 10 o'clock for a different kind of video. But if you have the courage to listen to this, I promise you that I am here for you. This channel exists for you. I am here for you to talk with. I am a peer support mentor. I have had training. I've been helping, listening, helping, encouraging other people since I was 16 years old. Excuse me. So I am here for you, and whatever you need a listening ear, you need some guidance, I will do what I can to help you. You're not alone. So, the narcissist or the toxic person, they're going to wear you down. They're going to gaslight your memory. They're going to twist your compassion until you are apologizing for the things that they did. Been there, done that. I had to step into a situation where the ex narc, well, he's still a narc, the ex-husband, was basically nose to nose with his own mother. And he was ready to pull a punch and hit her. And I got in the middle of them and I was nose to nose with him. And he stood down. He calmed down. I was that toxic that I didn't see that that was a red flag. That was not just a red flag. That was an alarm bell. That wasn't just an alarm bell. That was freaking a grenade. And I still married him. And at the end of the marriage, I found myself in the exact same spot with our daughter going basically nose to nose with him. And I know, but he's not violent. He'd never hurt me. And I would hear, he would get upset and I'd cower, because I'd be bracing for the punch because he looked like he was going to punch me. And those times where I just he'd be like, I can't believe you think I would hurt you. You're scared of me? I can't believe you would think I would ever hurt you. I'm sorry I put you in that position. I'm sorry that I'm making you feel like I could hurt you. I'm sorry that you're afraid of me. I am so sorry, sweetheart. I never wanted to give you the impression. I want to be that safe space for you, honey. There was none of that. There was, I can't believe that you think I would hurt you. And that's what they do. They sprinkle just enough. What would you call that? They sprinkle enough so-called kindness and deflection. That's what that is, deflection. They sprinkle that in there, and you call it kindness, and you call it, oh, he's being compassionate. He must know that he's doing wrong because he's mentioning it. So, acknowledgement is healthy. Acknowledgement to anything, it's a start, but it's not it's not what makes the transition. It doesn't make the person change. Acknowledgement is just freaking empty air if it's not followed through by anything substantial in behavior. So what you're enduring in your relationship, number one, it's not a relationship, not a romantic relationship. You're in a relationship of predator and prey. You know how we as kids used to watch those vampire shows, First Bite, with Chris Sarandon, I think it was, or Susan Sarandon. Yeah, that was my favorite vampire show when I was a kid, because it was romance, all about the romance and the seduction. And we as kids thought that that was love. So we tell ourselves that we're in a relationship, but no, we're in a position where we are held in permanent vulnerability so that we can be preyed upon. Let's speak the truth. Truth number 3. The longer you stay, the smaller your soul becomes. You tell yourself that you're strong for staying. Other people tell you you're strong for staying. No, you're not. There's a reason why you're staying, and it's got nothing to do with you being broken, or I'm going to say it's not your fault. You're being raped of your life. That's what's happening. Can we just call the spade a spade? This is all about power and control over you so the other person can feel all powerful. And they can feel good about themselves because they can't self-reflect. So they have to take away your light in order to make themselves feel better. There's a psychological term called leveling. And it's done whenever the abuser feels rotten about themselves. They have to level you down to size to build themselves up. That's cowardice. There's nothing wrong with you. See, in a real relationship where our vulnerabilities are exposed with somebody, that person actually takes our vulnerabilities, nurtures them, and watches over them. For an example, if you're allergic to strawberries and your significant others knows this, an abusive person would feed you strawberries just to see your vulnerability come out and see you twist in the wind and suffer. But a loving individual would be mindful, and when they take you out for dinner, or there was some sort of food on the menu that you guys wanted to try, a dessert, they would make sure it didn't have strawberries in it. I would really like to try this, but it's got strawberries in it, so let's choose something else. And you're like, are you sure? Well, of course I'm sure. You're going to go into anaphylactic shock if you have strawberries here, so don't even talk to me like that, because I'm looking after your best interest. I'm loving you here. Don't, when we say, oh, are you sure? That's coming from a place of being victimized. We think of other people before ourselves. We put other people's needs before our own health. I have asthma, and I when I was a kid, I had asthma really bad, and cigarette smoke it was a ticking time bomb for me. It could go either way. I could either cough or have a full blown out asthmatic attack. And I used to go on dates, where there was restaurants where everywhere you went, there was smoking. You couldn't get away from it. But instead of saying, you know what, let's have a picnic, or let's try to find a restaurant that is smoke-free. No, I'd be like, oh, you want to take me here? Okay, fine. And I'd be suffering for days after. Oh, but he was nice. It was a nice date, says me as he pulled out his cigarette and smoked and blew the smoke in my face. Oh, but I could change him. He can quit smoking. It's okay. Really. Predators train us, groom us to put everybody first and put our needs last. And this isn't just about our needs, our wants and desires. This is about our health. So we might have, in our childhood, we may have had a parent who was an alcoholic. And guess what? We meet a person who they like to drink a lot. Oh, that's okay. It's got nothing to do with me. They may drink a lot, but they're responsible enough to, they can they're responsible. It's got nothing to do with me. It's not my business. It is your business if you decide to get into a relationship, any kind of relationship with them. But you see how it's not our fault because you can't see what you can't see. If you were taught to live within certain parameters, your brain actually in your life searches for those parameters that are familiar to you. It's not about keeping you safe. It's about keeping you in an environment that you know, that is familiar to you. So you tell yourself that you're strong for staying. No, you're not. You're staying because of your lame excuses. And those lame excuses, I'm strong, I can do this. That's an excuse you tell yourself because you can't see where you're vulnerable, because it's your vulnerabilities that are keeping you bound to this individual. And there's nothing shameful in that. You don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you can't see. You can't change what you can't see needs changing. I know I stayed because I couldn't support myself, like literally. And it's still a struggle to support myself, but I'm working on myself. But back then, I didn't know how to. I didn't know what the frick was wrong. I didn't know what to do. And back then, I had 4 children to take care of. How could I support myself, get a secure job, and stay in that, and take care of my emotional health and be confident in that, and take care of 4 kids as a single mom? The vulnerability that most of us have is that we cannot take care of ourselves because we are not confident in ourselves, because trauma and the people who have traumatized us never taught us. We were never taught how to be confident, and they abused us, which took away our confidence or never taught us it. So the fact of the matter is, we stay because we are bullied to, because we are either financially dependent, emotionally held hostage, we're vulnerable emotionally because we didn't learn the skills in our childhood home to stand on our own 2 feet. You can tell yourself all day long that you're strong. And yeah, you are strong, but you're not strong for the right reasons. Because you are slowly dying. putting up with this and staying in a relationship that could potentially kill you. But you know what you're doing. You don't want your friends and family knowing, and if they tell you, you know what, I'm seeing some problems here with this guy or this girl, you're like, don't tell me. You don't know him like I know him. You don't know her. Yeah, okay, keep telling yourself that. Because what's happening is you are surviving, but you're surviving on the predator's terms. The real strength is walking away before they convince you that your pain is normal. Because guess what? The person that you love, the person that you think loves you, they need you broken. They are trying to break you. They need you to feel lower about yourself than how they feel about themselves. And they need you in a state where you will never get back up. Because to them, that's the ultimate power. That's how shitty they feel about themselves. They need you in tears. They need your silence. They need your confusion. Because without that, they have to face their own emptiness. You're not responsible for that, but they are trying to make you responsible for that. Because they will never take responsibility for that. So, some of you may be plotting your revenge. Some people out there may be seeking, oh, I can't wait till I get out because I'm going to freaking pay them back with every freaking thing I've got. Well, you know what? You can start your revenge on them right now. And it isn't to see them hurt, it's to see you win. That's exactly the revenge. You start winning at this thing we call life, and you stop bleeding for their comfort. How you do that? You get up. You get up and you start taking your life into your own hands and start working on yourself. You start taking a look at yourself, taking a look at your emotions and taking responsibility for them. You stop allowing someone else to manipulate your ego, and you stop allowing your ego to manipulate you. And once you start, you don't look back. Yeah, it's freaking scary. And maybe you're not ready. But guess what? There is never going to be a time when you are ready. All you do is take the first step, put one foot in front of the other, and you start preparing yourself to leave emotionally and physically. Maybe that's 2 years from now. Maybe that's 2 weeks from now. Maybe that's 20 years from now. It's up to you. But you start taking care of you. Set money aside, acquire some skills, take online courses. There's a lot of online courses for free. You don't need any certificate or proof that you have your diploma. There's lots of free online resources for you to start educating yourself. If that's a problem, if that's holding you back. Start building yourself up and clamp down on those vulnerabilities that you see. Now, if you're not confident, as most of us are not in abusive relationships, our confidence is 0, then learn how to be confident in your own skin. Start setting healthy boundaries. You don't know where to go? How do you set healthy boundaries? I can share that with you. I have an ebook, Talk the Talk. What is it? Talking Your Way into Healthy Relationships. And this is like 20 page, maybe 15, 20 page ebook that shares with you dialogue on what you can say to the narcissist without them getting upset at you, as I share with you key phrases that you can use that retain your integrity, but also keep the integrity of the other person. Nobody needs to get hurt when communicating. But the truth of the matter is, you've got to start doing things for yourself that you wanted people to do for you. That's what keeps us vulnerable, is never standing on our own 2 feet. We don't know what we're capable of because we've never been challenged in certain areas. And along comes the narcissist, the toxic person who sees that we don't do for ourselves, and they extrapolate on that. So what keeps us vulnerable is our neediness to be cared for emotionally and physically. That's called emotional immaturity. And where we mature emotionally is not from the life that we lead outside of ourselves. Is the life that we lead inside of ourselves within the family home. You owe yourself a chance to breathe without asking permission. You owe your future peace more than you owe their present pain. Like, you owe yourself so much. You're responsible for you. And yes, this is hard to hear, but get the hell out. Not tomorrow, not after one more apology, now. And how you get out now, maybe you can't physically get out now. I get it. You do what you can to keep yourself safe, but get out here. Get out now by using this thing we call the mind. Use your brain. Start taking steps to think clearly for yourself. Start listening to people who online or in person who want to help you. I'm a stranger to you and I'm here. You may not be able to trust people, so geek out on this video channel. Learn the information. Acquire the information. Take notes. And it's actually quite fun to look at yourself and to, see your strengths, and look at your strengths more than you look at your weaknesses. And those weaknesses are actually protected by the strengths that you have. So maybe you can't physically get out just yet, but you certainly can check out of the relationship emotionally. And how many of you have been checked out of the relationship and physically out of the relationship for years, but you're still checking into the relationship, still checking in on them, still peeking in, still hanging on to those feelings of, I could have done more, I should have done more. Does he or she love me? Did they ever love me? Us not helping yourself. Look at their behavior. Many narcissists have supplies even while they're with you. So their behavior answers your own questions. Did they ever love me? Abuse, physical or emotional? That's not love. So no. Do they love the new supply more than me? Well, if they had the supply along with you while they were still in a relationship with you, no. And we know that toxic people aren't capable of love. So stop using that word with them. It doesn't compute. It has no meaning when we're talking about a narcissist. If you're asking, did they love me? Did they love their new supply? They're in a new relationship? Did they ever love me? Did they love them as much as they loved me? Or did they love me more? Did they love them more? Stop using the word love, because the word love does not compute when you're dealing with a toxic individual. There is no love, it's only hate. They hate themselves, and your goodness reflects how much they hate themselves. They have to be with other people besides you, even when they're in a committed relationship with you, because you or anybody that they're in a situation with, it's human nature for our love to cause us to get closer to the individual. So the toxic person keeps you at arm's length. They won't allow you to get too close. And when you do, that's when they start getting violent, emotionally or physically. They're frustrated with themselves. They're frustrated with you. They're frustrated with the relationship. Loving you comes at a high cost, and loving anybody else comes at a high cost as well. Their behavior tells you that they cannot love. They do not love. So these questions don't even compute. They can't. They don't make sense when we're talking about a narcissist, because a narcissist does not love. So this needs to be said, because like I said at the beginning of this video, whatever is happening in this world, it's getting worse. Whether these toxic people are becoming more toxic because their demons are coming out, or they're now taking drugs, whatever it is, it's worse. And when it gets worse, it's more dangerous. So I'm not here to dress the truth in a polite language so you can sleep easy at night. I care about you. And this is truth talk, not to hurt you, but to help you. What good is it going to do if I just coddle your feelings? You have to start getting honest with yourself, and you have to talk to yourself the way that I'm talking to you in order for you to see the truth. So I'm just here to wake you up, to light a fire under you. Because the truth is brutal, and the truth is that you are being used. And you have the power to stop it. And that takes great sacrifice, because yeah, it comes at a loss. You're going to have to lose your livelihood. Maybe you're a single parent, or well, maybe you're the parent who stays at home. Maybe you're in the relationship where you work from home. Maybe you don't have to work. Maybe you own a house together. We're going to have to face the consequences. We're not going to get out clean. But coming out with your life, that's important. So your kindness, your compassion, your loving nature is being auctioned off to someone who will never pay the full price of what it means to have you in their lives. They don't appreciate you, is what I'm saying. And they can't appreciate you because they don't love you. They never could. They cannot love. So stop asking, does the new supply get their attention? Do they love the new supply more than me? That does not even compute when we're talking about toxicity. If I put a drop of tea or a drop of poison in my milk, in my teacup, just a little drop, do you think I would want to drink this tea? I've got this much milk in here, or say I got this much tea in here, okay? Do you think if I put a little drop of poison, I'm going to want to drink this? Do you think so? Oh, but Shannon, it's okay. There's more liquid in here than there is poison. So drink up. It's okay. Really? That has become our lives with the toxic person. We're taking great risks at our spiritual well-being, at the behest of our spiritual well-being. We're and you can explain this all, you might even be coming up with the explanation as I'm talking to explain things away. That's okay. You're going to make changes when you're ready. Nobody's judging you. Maybe 10 years after you see this video, maybe 10 days, maybe 2 days after seeing this video, maybe never. Maybe you just will ignore this video and live your life in a toxic relationship. That's your decision and nobody's judging you. I'm here to show you that you get to make the choice. You get to decide whether you stay or go. And while you're busy explaining, excusing, and staying, their hunger gets fed. They're preying off of your emotional well-being, causing you emotional harm that you will have to heal from. They won't stick around to help you through that pain. So here's the truth. When he or she says, I love you if you do this. I'll be proud of you if you act this way. I'll stay if you just shut up. Well, that person who is coercing you, blackmailing you, putting conditions on how you react or act to them, they're selling you a future where their comfort is the condition of your affection. How about that? And you buy this because you're scared that they'll leave. And you believe them when they say that you are nothing without them. That's the con job that they are selling you. That's the scam. That's the theft of your life. And if you stay, this will be the rest of your life because they don't change. They have to hit rock bottom. And if you are always their source of supply, you're readily available to take the hit, to take the punch, to take the verbal accusations, then what do they need to change for? So let me tell you a story. Her name is Emma. And again, this is for you gentlemen too. Just replace this woman's name, with your name. Because women and men can both relate to this story. This story could be you in a relationship with a femme fatale or a narcissistic male figure who has controlling issues that treats you like you're their daughter. And they expect you to look at them like they're your daddy. Like, this is any kind of narcissistic relationship here. So I'm only sharing this story from a woman's perspective, but this is for men or women. So we've all been there. That's the point. We've all been there. A narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. And you could know her. You could know him. She's the woman who laughed loud and laughed hard. She was the type who cooked too much for the unexpected guest, who cried at movies and read prayer books under blankets at night. She had a laugh that, made rooms warmer. And she had scars from other relationships. And those scars taught her to move gentle with people who hurt. She wanted to believe the best in everyone. And he showed up in her life like a miracle. Oh, smooth talker, flattering and sharp. He had a confidence that felt like shelter. He remembered the little things, the tiny jokes she made in passing, the songs she hummed under her breath. He knew how to show up on the days when she felt small. So she fell hard and fast. Because when you've been overlooked for a very long time, attention feels like oxygen. And at first, the friction was almost funny. He says, "Oh, you're always so loud." She laughs it off. "No, I'm not. That's just me." And he says, "Well, maybe don't wear that out tonight because other men stare. I know I'm a man and I see." She rolls her eyes. "Oh, okay, I'll wear something else." Because really, what's the harm? He calls her clingy sometimes, but then cries when she doesn't text him back in time. He loves her with a jealous heat that makes her feel like she's on top of the world, but then freezes her out, causing her to fear. He gives compliments and then stings it back with criticism. And she calls the relationship, "Oh, it's complicated. He's complicated, but he's my man." And he calls her dramatic. Oh my gosh. She's over the top. And this is where it becomes training. Think of a coin where there's two sides. One side is kindness, the other is control, and he flips it masterfully. The kind side glints and blinds her. There's a spontaneous banquet, a whispered apology, a night where he is gentle and everything is right again. Oh, he loves me. See, he made a mistake. He knows he did wrong. But this controlling side is a lesson in small doses as she stops calling old friends because their names invite questions. And maybe that is something you can relate to, as maybe you have stopped wearing the dress that you love because his comment about attention keeps looping in your head. And maybe it's caused problems once or twice and you just rather just keep the peace. So you stop saying what you need because his patience or her patience seems to so limited. And your needs feel like now a burden. Gaslighting is an art form for them. And with Emma, her man tells her something didn't happen the way she remembers. He denies what he said. He accuses her of making him into a monster. He tells her everyone else sees her as needy, and soon she finds herself apologizing to people she hasn't even spoken to about anything before. Sound familiar? Yeah, you start to believe your memory is faulty. You start to believe that the problem isn't him or her, it's you, me. And the physical intimidation creeps in. It's subtle, like you don't even notice it. When it first happens, you're like, what the fuck just happened? You can't believe it happened. And you swear, I'm not going to let it happen again. This was one and done. It's never going to happen again, but it does. It's not a punch. It's not a scream. Not yet. But it's violent. There, it's there. It's the hand on the back of her arm that lingers and tightens just a little too much and a little too long. And it's a door slammed or the cupboards slamming shut. The car door slammed so hard that nobody was paying attention that somebody's fingers got in the way. It's a shove towards the couch. But he laughs it off. And then he's tender after saying, oh, I scared you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. You were in my way. I'm sorry. I tripped over something and I fell into you. I didn't shove you. That is what introduces fear that isn't easily talked away. And Emma begins to walk on eggshells. Her mouth learns when and where to be quiet. What makes this insidious is every time Emma shrinks, she gets rewarded with relief. Phew. The storm passes and he apologizes. And he's charming again. And she is flooded with relief and gratitude for the calm and the peace. She takes that as a win. And that is what she strives for in the relationship. I know I've been there. And some of you have been too. And that relief feels like love because it comes from the person who caused the storm. The cycle locks, breaks, only to soothe. Your peace is broken only for them to soothe. And this cycle of breaking and soothing, breaking and soothing, breaking and soothing becomes your norm. And dependence forms like the barnacle on the ship as the breaking and soothing is the ebb and flow of those waves of peace. and waves of conflict. Oh, you think you are being patient and generous, forgiving and kind, and because your behavior is changing, you assume theirs is changing. Your behavior is changing not for the good. It's to suit the needs of the other person. And because you're shrinking, you believe that your behavior is keeping the peace. So that's a good thing. But they're not changing. You think they are. You're hoping they will. But no, they haven't changed. The only reason why they haven't exploded at you is because you haven't done. You're so small that you're like a mouse in the room. You're barely seen and barely heard. So it comes to the point where you're donating pieces of your soul to keep the peace. You're giving them permission to hurt you. You're giving them permission to keep you small. So again, I'm not saying this to shame you. This is what happens. Our behavior, even though we're responsible for it, we don't realize that this is what being conditioned to live a certain way to meet the needs of other people. We're supposed to live to meet the needs of ourselves. You're not designed to spend the rest of your life shrinking so someone else can look larger. Where is that? Where did that ever become a rule? So in Emma's situation, she finds herself alone at night after a bath, thinking about things long and hard. And she's got the phone in her hand, but who does she call? Because her friends are all gone. Her family is distant. The church members think everything is okay because she smiles in Sunday service, and she feels stupid for even thinking of leaving. She tells herself, the children. The children need a stable home. If she leaves, their lives will be shattered. She tells herself, oh, the mortgage, the job, the logistics, these are all things that give her reason to stay. But under all these messages is one message that she's terrified of accepting. She's terrified of being alone. Aren't we all? And he has taught her how to be terrified. That terror is the sandbox, the literal sandbox that the enemy plays in. This world is the devil's playground, and the terror is a sandbox the abuser builds for you. He fills it with your fears, your pasts, your insecurity, and then charges admission to the only safe place he pretends to own. He sells you safety that is counterfeit, and he offers control disguised as devotion. And guess what? He's the one pissing in the sandbox as well and forcing you to play in it. And the ego, your ego says, you know what? If you stay, you'll look strong. You'll show commitment. You'll be the bigger person. Oh, that sounds noble, doesn't it? But your ego is lying to you. It's the same voice that tells us to stay in the same job that makes us miserable. Oh, you're building experience. It's okay. Well, this isn't noble. This is wandering into extinction because you confuse endurance with worth. Because we weren't taught this in our childhood homes. So what do? You have to learn how to outsmart the abuser and your own ego. You have to change the script. And that change starts with you seeing the truth as plainly as you can. This relationship is not an investment. It doesn't have dividends that will pay off later. This relationship you might be in, or you're, still healing over, it's draining your life. Now, my mom, she was like Emma, so was I. My mom met my dad in a bar because he was a bartender. And he was tall and lanky and skinny, unassuming. He wasn't muscular. Oh, but he was charming. He didn't have the good looks, but oh, he knew how to talk to the ladies. He knew how to listen. What woman doesn't want a man to listen to her, right? Well, he seemed to listen until he no longer did. Oh, my mother's fiery temper matched his. She challenged his Hungarian temperament that created a bomb behind closed doors. Shattered glass, broken doors, bruises. My dad's temper and the way he was, his toxicity left my mom with a lacerated ego, bleeding her divine feminine nature, slowly dripping, leaking out into every other relationship she ever had, including the relationship she had with me and her other daughter and her family, with her parents, her sisters, her other male lovers, until she completely abandoned herself to the razor blade, or was it sleeping pills? I don't know. These failed attempts to end her life scarred me, as these attempts on her life would show me through her behavior just how little she valued her life and everybody around her. Because she abandoned herself to the bottom of 2 vodka bottles every night or every day. I inherited my mother's temper and my dad's temper. Combine that with trauma, the anger from trauma. Oh yeah, it was not a good combination. I took it out on some people, but mainly I took out my anger on myself. I started abandoning myself, not with pills, not with suicide attempts, just alienating myself, isolating myself, not talking to anybody, thinking that I didn't matter, I wasn't important enough to have friends. And I was too busy trying to survive the freaking asthma. So, that didn't help anything at all. It was hard to make friends because I was always coughing, always sick. So yeah, I just learned to live with it and got good at ignoring myself and pretending that my life wasn't as bad as it was. I just got good at accepting what was, what is, and what will seemingly always be. Yeah, the trauma that I endured caused, rage-induced trauma that it alienated me from myself, my children and friends, and a life that I wanted for myself. I ended up walking away from all of it and walking into the arms of a toxic person and toxic person after toxic person. So I'm not saying anything to you that I haven't gotten honest with myself about. And it's not about regret. It's not about feeling shitty about ourselves. It's not about thinking, oh, wow, we're such losers. It's not about that. It's not about being derogatory. It's about seeing the truth and owning the truth and now owning our decisions. I was never an alcoholic. Oh, I got drunk now and again, yeah, but I was drunk with rage and self-pity, and I drowned my sorrows in overeating, sexual self-gratification, trying to find love in males, and thinking that sex was love. And so I had sex with these people thinking that they loved me, but no, my body was just a tool for them, and that freaking hurt. My life was just an escape for these men. And I didn't realize that I was giving my dad permission to abuse me, as I saw my dad and all these male narcissists. So I was just allowing the persona of my dad to further abuse me like he abused my mom, which in turn helped me to understand her better, which in turn helped me to understand him better, which in turn helped me to understand myself better, to stop the cycle of abuse, to stop that freaking insanity. So yeah, I needed help. I thought, if somebody could just love me the way that I needed to be loved, and I didn't know what love was, but I thought, well, when I feel it, I'll know it. And I thought if somebody would just do that for me, I'd be fine. But no. When you are not fine, you are not attracted to fine. You literally attract worse than you to bring out the worst in you so you can pick yourself up and take care of yourself. Now, are you guys I know this video is bleak. I know this is hard to hear. But there comes a time where you stop talking and you start letting go. You start taking action in your life, because no matter sitting there even years later saying, did they love me? Did they want me? Do they want me back? Did I even matter to them? At this point, it doesn't matter. Hello, Andrea. Nice to see you. So many of us can picture the narcissist leaning over the cracked table and saying, oh, listen, sweetheart, I'll give you a deal. Stay one more year and you'll get more of the same. I'll throw in a weekend of apologies and a new spray of roses, and you'll be able to tell yourself you tried harder than anyone. That's admirable. You'll collect the scars like badges and hang them up to show how brave you were. That's the pitch. Have you ever been told by the narcissist, if you stay, please don't leave, I'll change, I promise, you'll see? I heard that one too. That's the devil's bargain. That's the truth they sell you without telling the truth. There is nothing heroic about accepting a slow death by inches. There is everything heroic about stepping out of that room and into the cold, into uncertainty. Yes, life is always going to be uncertain. We're always going to have uncertainty. But the important thing is to choose yourself in uncertain times, in any time. Now, I know leaving is terrifying, and I'm not telling you to leave today. I know it's messy. Emotions, money, kids, housing, work. These are real things that you have to contend with. But the alternative is to pay with the rest of your life. I mean, calculus matters here. Which cost is greater, keeping the status quo or risking everything to win your life back? Ask yourself that question honestly, not with your shame answering, not with the abuser's voice filling your ears with the still small truth beneath both. You deserve to live. And again, it's not rational to leave right now. But there are concrete things I want you to hear, not as a checklist to make you feel better, but as a practical scaffolding to make escape possible. First, safety, your family's safety is a priority. If you are in immediate danger, please find a safe phone, a safe haven. Find a safe phone, find a safe neighbor, a safe place to stay, someone who can help you get away. You do not need permission to protect your life. If you can't leave that instant, then plan. Don't think, okay, I survived this moment will never happen again. It does happen again. And each time it happens, it gets worse. And I'm not just speaking from the perspective of a mentor and a counselor who counsels people on this. I have experienced this myself. And many of you guys have. So keep a bag in place where the narcissist won't find it. They won't look. Keep important documents and papers, those bank papers, like get your own bank account that they don't know about. Maybe even have a credit card that they don't know about and put it in a safe. Put it somewhere where they won't find it. Tuck away money. Have an extra phone or an extra charger. I had a hush phone. My best friend would call it the hush phone because I had two phones. One phone that he knew about, but the other one he didn't know about. Pack a change of clothes. Pack some snacks for you and the kids, those granola bars or whatever. Some extra water, juice packs. Memorize numbers. If you have children, prepare for what will make them safe first. There are organizations, shelters, advocates who know how to do this quietly and quickly. Use them. Not all shelters are equipped with the same knowledge, so you might have to talk to more than one shelter. And number 2, document. I know this might seem minimal, but evidence becomes power when you need it. Keep messages. Take photos of bruises or the damage done, if it's safe to do so. Write down dates and what happened. Keep it in a safe place, like an email account that they don't know about. Documentation is not about revenge. It's about protection. And number 3, rebuild your support system. Isolation is the tool that they need. But your friendships, well, they might be afraid, but some people will listen if you tell the truth. Don't embellish, just tell the truth. You're allowed to share your story. Tell a trusted friend, a family member, a counselor, a church leader who isn't blindfolded. Reach out. If you think no one will believe you, then start small. Tell one person who has shown consistency in the past. Real people can and will help. And 4th, your spiritual life can be a weapon and also a refuge. So if your faith has been twisted to justify staying, reject that twisted theology. God does not demand your destruction as proof of loyalty. If faith is your refuge, let it be a place where you are reminded of your worth, not guilted into staying. Pray for courage. Pray for strategy. Faith that asks you to self-harm is not faith. It's manipulation. So, from survivor to survivor here, I've said the truth first, but I'll say this again a little softer. And please hear this. You are not the only one who has felt their world constrict around them. People do escape. People get help. People do heal. People do rebuild, and you can. People who thought their story was over find a life they thought they never could have, and they're living it out loud. It's not easy, but it's doable. It's messy, yeah, but it's possible. And you don't need to be perfect to leave. You need to be brave enough to pick one small action and just take it. Even if you leave the relationship in here, right now, that's enough. You will be tempted to wait for him or her to change. Don't. When someone wants to change, that change is consistent. It's measurable. It's independent of your behavior. And it comes after that person faces their own issues. It comes when that person finally takes responsibility and receives professional help. So if that person is blaming you for everything, that's not changing. If their apologies are always centered on how their outbursts affect him or her rather than taking responsibility for hurting you or the children or other people, well, that's not change. You cannot protect your life on the promise of someone else's future goodwill. Forgiveness is not a requirement for leaving. Know that. You don't have to forgive them to leave. You don't owe them a clean conscience. You owe yourself liberation. Forgiveness can come later, and it probably will, but it comes on your own terms. But right now, your obligation is to live, to thrive, to breathe again, to be safe. Now, I know some of you who are listening right now and maybe thinking, well, I could never do that. I have kids. I have debt. Where would I go? I hear you. Been there, done that. And I'm still in debt. 8 years later, still in debt, but I'm free emotionally, and it feels good. That's empowerment. And I'd rather be here than back there. Now, there are legal advocates. There's community shelters. There's churches. There's hotlines that can help with temporary housing and legal counsel. But, just because these avenues are available to you doesn't mean it's not going to, it's going to be difficult. It will. And it will be complicated. But just because it's complicated doesn't give you a reason to shut down. Now, if you are a listener here who's not the survivor, maybe a friend, excuse me, maybe you know a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, please don't be the person that says, why don't you just leave? Be the one who creates options. Ask, have you thought about where you would go? Can I help you pack a bag? Can I help you find the shelter that you need? Do you have someone that you can trust? Be concrete. Abusers are experts at productions of doubt. So your steady presence in this person's life is the antidote. You give them the breath of fresh air that they need. So if you're the abuser and you're listening, hello. And I want to tell you to just stop. Stop the rationalizing. Yeah, you can stop yourself. You may not want to. Stop telling yourself terrible stories about the person that you are hurting to keep your pride intact. You are hurting someone every time you prioritize your ego over their humanity. And I'm sorry if you feel like your humanity has been broken, but that doesn't give you the excuse to break somebody else's humanity. It's not too late for you to stop. But stopping involves more than just pretending. It involves therapy and taking accountability. Can you do that? If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you stop. And yeah, it might mean letting go or losing the person that you have now. Relationships aren't about control. You got control issues. We all do. But we're talking about you right now. And control is not the way you keep people in your life. Now, if you're not willing to pay that price in letting somebody go, or you're not willing to take a look at your control, then at least think about why you are demanding somebody stay in your life. It's time to get real with yourself too. So to the listeners of this video who have said, oh, I've tried all of this and it didn't work. I've tried 100 ways and you were still pulled back into the chaos. You tried in ways that were not your responsibility. You tried fixing a person who was not broken in a fixable way. That's not a failing on your part. That's a truth about them. Your compassion was weaponized, your mercy used as a leash. So forgive yourself for believing the lies. We all do believe them. So you want a tiny no-nonsense plan before we leave this video? Fine. 3 actions right now that you can do. Number 1, hide or memorize 1 phone number that is not tracked by the person that's abusing you. Number 2, put $50 away or whatever you can in a place that only you know about. And number 3, take a picture of your ID and important papers and email them to an address that he does not know about. This is not heroic, this is pragmatic, because practical wins give you the momentum to do bigger things. You're taking your life into your own hands by doing these 3 things. And when you go, when you're good and ready, when you're able to leave, and eventually you will go, do it with your head clear enough to know that you're not running away from problems. You are running towards your life and taking responsibility for yourself. So pack the things that hold your sense of self. You know, that book that reminds you of who you were, the sweater that smells like your grandmother, the photos of you, who you were before they started chipping away at your integrity and your psyche. Hold on to your identity like oxygen. That identity will be the scaffolding of your recovery. Now, recovery is not neat. It's not pretty. There will be days where you'll feel triumphant and days where you'll feel outrageously small and insignificant, and you're wondering why you got to keep going. This is normal, and we're here for that. Healing is messy, but it's also holy. You will need help. So take it. Counseling, therapy, mentorship, peer support groups, prayer, whatever works for you, use it. Take advantage of people who are willing to help you. You're not alone. So, one last thing. Do not let anybody tell you that your story is less important because you stayed. There's no shame in staying. You stay because you have your own reasons, and nobody needs to know those reasons. Staying is not evidence that you're weak. It's evidence that you're trapped by somebody's cunning. So don't let the world shame you further. Your value is not diminished by other people's cruelty. So if you want to leave and you're terrified of the legal battles, the custody fights, the financial ruin, that fear is real. Get legal advice before you act if you can. Many communities have legal aid for survivors. So you don't have to do this alone. If you can, find an advocate or a support organization. They know the forms, the shelters that take in families with even pets. And there are judges out there who do understand coercive control. Find them, use them. Know the lingo, narcissism, coercive control, parental alienation. Know the lingo, share that with your advocate or your lawyer, and talk with your lawyer to find the judge that is sympathetic to your needs. And when you are safe, when you have space, when you can breathe, I want you to do something radical. Get angry. Oh, not bitter. No, not bitter. And not an anger that's revenge filled. No, get angry in a way that ignites you. Let your anger fuel your boundaries. Let it be the engine that moves you to build a life where you are not second best, where your feelings are not bargaining chips. Now, if you're worried about meeting somebody, you will later in due time. But right now, just focus on yourself. So, what can you do right now to prepare yourself for leaving physically and emotionally? And if you feel like you need to talk for whatever reason, you're welcome to make an appointment with me. The link is in the description of this video. You can return to this channel for insightful messages that will direct you truthfully on your healing journey. You're not alone. And you can email me as well, shannongilmore@protonmail.com. So we love you, and we're here for you. At Positively Spiritual, you are valued, you are loved, and you are family. We're not leaving you behind, because no one's left behind. So thanks for listening, and stay safe. Hello everyone, it's nice to see you. Welcome newcomers. How you doing? It's an honor to have you here, Robert. It's an honor to have all of you guys here. And I know you guys were talking amongst yourselves, and you guys are supportive of each other, and I just very thankful for that you guys are supporting each other, and you guys are working this out. Talking does help. Talking gains clarity. So I'm just reading your comments here. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6. And I, when I saw you polluted in your own blood, I say to you, live. Ooh. Hey, you person with the Russian font. Am I an actress? No, but I get asked that quite a bit because of my looks. But no, I'm not an actress. You know, we all have a role to play in this thing we call life, and we're all doing our best just to frickin' survive. So I'm a survivalist more than I'm an actress. I'm a survivor. You know that song, right? I don't know the rest of the words. Not gonna give up. Whatever. But yeah, no, we're here just learning. Sometimes we're flying by the seat of our pants, but you know, we're making headway, right? We're doing this. We're doing this together. It's okay to not be okay. That's right, Robert. It's okay to admit that you're vulnerable and broken and you're hiding behind the mask. Yeah, absolutely. Glad we all have each other. That's right, Cynthia. Hi, Winston. How you doing? I can't leave because of financial reasons, but I have you all with my Lord to carry me. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's nice to see all of you guys. And, well, I think I've talked your ear off enough. And, well, tonight we'll have something better. Well, I mean, this video today was good. I mean, I think it needs to be said because the crazies are coming out of the woodwork and we need to keep ourselves safe. And, you know, please, if you find yourself, you're in a situation with an abusive individual, please don't let them know that you know that they're abusive. Like, don't tell them, oh, guess what? You're a narcissist. You're a psychopath. Don't let them know that you know, because it's going to be worse for you. It's going to get, it'll get pretty ugly. So, yeah, I think so too, Cynthia. This was an important message. And yeah, thank you. May God lead this message to people who need to hear it, because we're here for each other. We are family. We're not going anywhere. So with that said, if you guys want to support this channel, please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, share it, and there is a donation link in the description of this video and also in the chat, because your donations help us to stay here twice a day for you, for each other, and for those who need to see this video channel. So thank you. As we are family, we are one. We're doing this. I'm so proud of you guys. I love you. God bless, and see you this evening at 10 o'clock in the evening, Eastern time. Until then, God bless you. Go make your day great. I love you. Bye-bye.